Students, this video is based on the chapter From the Diary of Anne Frank. So this is the first part of the chapter. Now before beginning the chapter, I would like to discuss a short summary of this chapter. From the Diary of Anne Frank is an extract from Anne Frank's diary where she writes about her experience in school with Mr. Kessing, her maths teacher. Now in this diary, Anne Frank has expressed her feelings, her thoughts, like what during her lifespan, whatever she felt, whatever were her feelings, that all are expressed in her diary. Anne begins the diary by explaining why she feels the need to write one. She does not have a true friend. Now, she has also given the explanation that what is the need of writing the diary. Like some people in the diary, they write about the day, whatever they have done on that particular day. All the incidents are mentioned in the diary. But the reason of Anne Frank for writing the diary was something very different. Why she had written the diary? Because she was not having any friend to talk to or to play with or to share her feelings. So that was the reason that she had written the diary. Anne has many she can call her friends, but they are not the kind in whom she can confide. Now basically she was having many friends, but she did not have any friend with whom she can trust. There are many things she wants to get off her chest, and as paper has more patience than people have, she decides to pen down and confide her feelings in a diary, calling it Kitty, her true friend. Now the name of the diary which she has given to the diary was Kitty. Very cute name it was, and she considered this diary as her best friend or as her true friend with whom she can express all her feelings. Now we'll move to the story. Alice Marie Anne Frank, 12th June 1929, February March 1945. Means she was born on 12th June 1929 and she died in the year 1945. The month is not being clear or decided. Maybe it was February or March. So the lifespan of Anne Frank was only of about 15 years. Was a German-born Jewish girl. She was born in Germany, but basically she was Jewish, who wrote while in hiding with her family and 4 friends in Amsterdam during the German occupation of the Netherlands in World War II. So the family as well as the 4 friends of Anne, they were hiding in Amsterdam at the time of World War II because Nazis has captured the Germany. Her family had moved to Amsterdam after the Nazis gained power in Germany but were trapped when the Nazi occupation extended into the Netherlands. So Amsterdam is in Netherlands. So when Nazis came to Netherlands, they were also captured. Anne and the family was also captured. As persecutions against the Jewish population increased, the family went into hiding in July 1942 in hidden rooms in her father Otto Frank's office building. Now, when Netherlands was captured by Nazis, the family was very afraid, so they moved from there and they shifted in the office of her father. And the name of the father was Otto Frank. After 2 years in hiding, the groups was betrayed and transported to the concentration camp system where Anne died of typhus in Bergen-Belsen within days of her sister Margot Frank. Now, when the Nazis captured Amsterdam or Netherlands, the family was also captured and they were shifted to concentration camp. In the concentration camp, after the death of Anne's sister, whose name was Margot Frank, after some days, Anne also died because of the disease known as typhus. It is a kind of infection. Her father Otto, the only survivor of the group. Now, the only member who was left in the whole family alive was her father. All the members were dead. Returned to Amsterdam after the war ended. So the father thought that now the World War II is over, so I should return back to Amsterdam, to find that her diary had been saved. And then when he returned back to his home, he found that there was a diary which was written by Anne Frank. Convinced that it was a unique record, now father knew very well that whatever Anne has written in her diary, that was something very unique, very different. Okay, and she has written whatever she has faced in her life. Her feelings are expressed in that diary. He took action to have it published in English under the name The Diary of a Young Girl. So, when he got the diary of a daughter, he decided that he will publish this diary in one of the journal under the name of Diary of a Young Girl, and this article was given the name The Diary of a Young Girl. The diary was given to Anne Frank for her 13th birthday and chronicles the events of her life from 12th June 1942 until its final entry of August 1944. For 2 years, whatever life she had faced, whatever experiences she had gained in her life, all those were mentioned in that diary. And how she got that diary? She got this diary on her 13th birthday. It was eventually translated from its original Dutch into many languages and became one of the world's most widely read books. Basically, it was written in the Dutch language, but after being published, it was translated in many other languages and people liked it very much. It was one of the favorite books of people. There have also been several films, television and theatrical productions and even an opera based on the diary. Now, based on the basis of this diary, many movies were made, many plays were being conducted in the theatre, and television programs were also being telecasted. Described as the work of a mature and insightful mind, the diary provides an intimate examination of daily life under Nazi occupation. Now, when Nazi became the dictator, so what kind of life she was living or what other people was living, that all was described in a diary. Anne Frank has become one of the most renowned and discussed of the Holocaust victims. Many people were captured by the Nazis, but Anne Frank became very famous because of this diary. Now we move to the chapter. This was only the introduction. Writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. Some people, when they start writing the diary for the first time, they feel it very different. They have a different feeling within themselves or a strange feeling. The same strange feeling came within Anne Frank also. Not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old school girl. Now, why writing a diary was strange for me? Because the reason was not that I have never written the diary earlier or for the first time I am writing the diary. But the reason was that she thought that I am only a 13-year-old girl. I am not a writer. Okay, I am not a trained writer, you can say. I am just only 13 years old, and I think that nobody will be interested in reading the thoughts of a 13-year-old girl, and this will all be a waste for others. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing, and I have an ever greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. Now, things off my chest means to release my mind. She was not having any friend with which she can talk. She did not trust anyone. So she thought that I will make this diary as my friend and I will express all my thoughts, all my feelings into this diary, and I will feel myself relaxed or relieved. My mind will become free of the thoughts. Paper has more patience than people. Now, people, if you talk to any person, the person gets angry. Okay, irritated, but the paper never gets irritated or angry. So the tolerance power or the patience of the paper is much more than any other person. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands, bored and listless. Listless means with no energy or interest, wondering whether to stay in or go out. Now, when I decided to write a diary, when I was passing through the depressive mood I was in depression, in frustration. Nobody was there to talk to me. Although I was living with my family members, but I did not have any person with whom I can trust or I can share my feelings and thoughts. And I was very bored. I was feeling very unenergetic. No interest was there in my life. So at that time, I decided that I will express my thoughts and feelings in this diary so that I will be relaxed. I finally stayed where I was brooding. Brooding means thinking deeply on something. I was thinking very much that what I should do now, whether I should go out or I should stay here only. Yes, paper does have more patience, and since I am not planning to let anyone else read this stiff back notebook. Stiff back notebook means hard covered. Stiff means very hard. The cover of the diary was very hard, and she decided that whatever I will write in my diary, I will not allow anyone to read my thoughts and feelings. This was only for myself, personally for me. Generally grandly referred to as a diary, unless I should ever find a real friend, it probably won't make a bit of difference. So I will continue writing this diary until and unless I get a friend with whom I can share my feelings and thoughts. And she thought that nobody is going to see my diary. I will not allow anyone to look at it, to read. So what does it matter? Whatever I write in my diary, it was only for me. Now I am back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. So again she is saying that what is the reason for writing the diary? What encouraged me? What reason prompted me to write this diary? Because I was not having any good friend, any best friend, any trustworthy friend, any loyal friend with whom I can talk or I can share my feelings. Let me put it more clearly, since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world. Now, if I say to someone that I am all alone, the person will say that, are you foolish? You are living with your family, you have family members with you, and still you are saying that you are living alone. So, this statement will be foolish, because nobody will believe on it. And I am not. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people I can call friends. And this is true also, that I am living in a family where I have very good parents. My parents are very loving, very caring, very emotional, and I have a sister also who is 16 years old, and other than my family members, I know about 30 other people whom I can call friends. I have a family loving aunt and a good home. Uncle and aunt also I have, and a very good family and a very good house to live in. No, on the surface I seem to have everything except my one true friend. Superficially, if I see, I have all people around me. I am not alone. My whole family is there with me. But I don't have any true friend. Now, what is the meaning of true friend? True friend means a person with whom you can share your feelings, your thoughts, your senses, means sensible thoughts, or even insensible thoughts, and the person does not get angry. That is a true friend who has the patience to listen everything. So such type of friend I was not having. All I think about when I am with friends is having a good time. And whenever I was with my friends, I enjoyed a lot. I was happy. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday things. And what I discussed with my friends, I only discussed about everyday routine work, normal things, nothing special. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that is the problem. Friends were there, but any close friend was not there. Means the topics which I discussed with my friends were based on daily routine life or normal things, nothing special, something emotional type of feeling was not attached with any of my friends. Maybe it's my fault that we don't confide in each other. Maybe because of my behavior, because of nature, I could not trust anyone. In any case, that is just how things are, and unfortunately they are not liable to change. This is why I have started the diary. So whatever be the reason, whether it is my behavior, my attitude, my way of thinking, okay, whatever may be the reason, this was the fact that I could not get any close friend with whom I can share my feelings and thoughts. So finally I decided to pen down my feelings, my thoughts, my expressions in this diary. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, means so long I was waiting for to find such a friend, good friend, true friend, loyal friend. I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do. Means generally people have a particular way of writing a diary. So she thinks that I will not write this diary in a normal manner like other people do. But I want the diary to be my friend and I am going to call this friend Kitty. For other people, those who write diary, this diary is only a diary. It is a maybe a type of book or booklet or copy. But for me, it is more than that. It is not only made up of paper. For me, it is a true friend. Okay. Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty if I were to plunge writing, I would better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. Now, she has got a diary and she was thinking that directly if I will start writing about my life, what kind of life I am leading just now, or what problems I am facing, or what kind of feelings are within myself when I am under the control of Nazis, directly if I will start writing, nobody will understand that what I am writing if anybody reads it. So first I should have to give a short description about my life, means beginning I have to make, then only I can express my feelings. But although I don't like to give the description of my life, short sketch of my life, but still I have to do, because otherwise people will not understand it, that what I am writing. So instead of directly presenting the present situation, I have to give a short sketch of my life. My father, the most adorable father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. So she started writing her diary with the description of her parents, that her father was at the, means 35 years old and mother was 26 years old when they married to each other, and according to Anne Frank, her father was the best father in the world. Okay, she loved her father very much. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born on 12th June 1929. So my sister was born in 1926 and after 3 years I was born. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. Till 4 years of age I was living in Frankfurt. My father emigrated to Holland in 1933. Emigrated means to leave one's country and to go outside or abroad, that is emigrated. Okay. So my father went to Holland. He left Germany and he went to Holland in the year 1933. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September. After some months, my mother also went to Holland, while Margaret and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Means in the Aachen is the city in Germany, so we were living there only with our grandmother, and mother and father have shifted to Holland. Margot went to Holland in December. Then in September my mother went. Then in December Margot went, and I followed in February. And I went in February. So within the gap of some months, we all shifted to Holland. When I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margot. Now I was taken from Germany to Holland in such a way like I was a birthday present for my sister. I started right away at the Montessori Nursery School. Now my education started with the Montessori School. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started in the first form. Now till 6 years of age, I was studying in Montessori, and then I shifted in the first class. In the 6th form, my teacher was Mrs. Kupras, the headmistress. Now when I went to the first class, who was my teacher? Mrs. Kupras, she was the headmistress. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said a heartbreaking farewell. So one year I stayed with that teacher, and I was so much attached with my teacher, and my teacher was also so much attached with me that when I left the school, we both were crying. In the summer of 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation, so my birthday passed with little celebration. Now, in the year 1941, my grandmother, she was very sick and she had to undergo an operation. So during that time when my birthday came, it was just a normal birthday. There was no grand celebration of my birthday. Grandma died in January 1942. Now she had undergone an operation in 1941 and she died in 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. Means after I was so attached with my grandmother that even after her death, I used to think only of my grandmother because I loved her very much. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the other, and grandma's candle was lit along with the rest. So when I celebrated my birthday in 1942, at that time the purpose of celebrating my birthday was also one more, that the candles were lit in front of the grandmothers so that her soul can rest in peace. The four of us are still doing well. Four of us means both the sisters and mother and father, means the whole family. They were very well settled, and that brings me to the present date of 20 June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. We were very happy, we were leading a happy and satisfied life when I decided to start writing my diary. So, this diary, the beginning of this diary was done on 20th June 1942. Now the name of the diary which she has given is Kitty. So she starts her diary with Dearest Kitty. Our entire class is quacking in its boots. Quacking in its boots means shaking with fear and nervousness. Means all the students of my class, they were very afraid and frightened. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. Now, why all the students were frightened or afraid? Because on this day, today, there will be a meeting of the teachers in which the teachers will decide that which student should be promoted and which student has to repeat the same class. Half the class is making bets. Bets means short. Most of the students, they are making bets. Gian and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us, Cian and Jack, who have staked their entire holiday savings on their back. Now there were two boys. The name of the boys were Cian and Jake. Whatever earning, whatever saving they have done during their holidays, the whole money they have put on the bet. The bet was like, I will be promoted or not. And I and my friend was laughing at those boys. From morning to night, it's you are going to pass, no I am not, yes you are, no I am not. The whole class was discussing only on this matter. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outburst can't calm them down. Now, Gian was requesting everyone that please stop this bet, stop discussing. Whatever will be the result, it will come forward. And I was also angry with their behavior, with the behavior of other children. But still the students or other children, they have not stopped making bets. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. Now, what is the meaning of dummy? Dummy means stupid people. So, if you ask me, there are so many dummies. Means there are many stupid people in this class. That about a quarter of the class means 1/4 of the class should be kept back. Kept back means they should not be allowed to they should not be allowed to go to the next class. But the teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. Means quarter of the class, 1/4 of the class are made up of is made up of stupid students which should not be promoted to the other class, but I can't say what will be the decision of the teachers, because teachers are unpredictable creatures. We don't know how the teachers can react. If I am not so worried about my girlfriends and myself, means I don't have any tension that whether I will be promoted to the next class or not. We will make it. I am sure I am going to be promoted. The only subject I am not sure about is maths. All other subjects I have command on them. I am good in all subjects, but the only subject which I am not sure of is maths. Anyway, all we can do is wait. Until then, we keep telling each other not to lose the heart. So, we are not sure that who will be promoted and who will not be promoted. So, the only thing is we have to wait till that time when our teachers will announce the names of the students who will be promoted. So, till then we have to wait and we have to be patient. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. Now, my relationship with all my teachers was quite good. There are 9 of them, 7 men and 2 women. So how many teachers were there? Total 9 teachers were there. Out of these 9 teachers, 7 were male teachers and 2 were female teachers. Mr. Casing, the old fogey who teaches maths, was annoyed with me for ages because I talked so much. Now what is the name of the maths teacher? The name of the maths teacher is Mr. Casing, and he was very angry with me. That's why I am not sure about the subject maths, because he did not like me because I was very talkative in the class. After several warnings, he assigned me extra homework, an essay on the subject, a chatterbox. What can you write about that? So the maths teacher has given many warnings to me in the class that you should stop talking, you should not talk so much, but still I did not listen to him. So finally he gave me a homework. The homework was to write an essay on the topic a chatterbox. Now what is the meaning of chatterbox? Chatterbox means somebody who talks too much unnecessarily without any purpose. I would worry about that later, I decided. Now listening to the topic, I started thinking that what ideas, what thoughts I will write on this essay. But then she thought that I will think about it later on. I jotted down the title in my notebook, tucked it in my bag and tried to keep quiet. Whatever topic was given by my maths teacher, I noted down that topic in my notebook, and then I kept that notebook in my bag, and after that I tried to keep myself quiet in the class. That evening, after I had finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. Now the teacher has given a note in my copy, like in the school the students get the note about the homework. In the same way, my maths teacher has also given me a note in the notebook that you have to write an essay on this particular topic. So in the evening, after I completed my homework, I started looking at that essay. I began thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of my fountain pen. Now there was a fountain pen ink pen with which I was writing. So suddenly I put that pen in my mouth and tip of the pen in my mouth, and then I started thinking about the topic. Anyone could ramble on and leave big spaces between the words, but the trick was to come up with convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. Now there are some children, if you give something to write and they don't have much matter or material to write, so what they do, they leave too much of spaces between the words so that it seems like the student has written 2, 3 or 4 pages, but actually the matter is not so big. They leave the spaces between the words to fill the pages, maximum pages. But this child wanted to write something. Whatever she will write, she had to write something that will prove that yes, talking is necessary. Because if she will not prove this, then she will be at fault. So if she wanted to prove herself right, she had to express her thoughts in the essay that talking is very essential, it is necessary part of one's life. So she had to express her ideas, her thoughts in favor of talking. I thought and thought, and suddenly I had an idea. I was continuously thinking on the topic. I wrote the 3 pages Mr. Casing had assigned me and was satisfied. Now, whatever topic was given to me, after thinking a lot, I was able to write 3 pages, means 3 pages essay I had written, and I was satisfied with those 3 pages. I argued that talking is a student's trait and that I would do my best to keep it under control. Now, in the essay, what she had written, that it is the characteristic of any student, any child. If the child will not talk, then what he will do? So it is a natural characteristic of any child that he or she talks a lot. Okay, you can't control any child. And but still she has written in the essay that I will try to control myself from talking too much, but that I would never be able to cure myself of the habit, since my mother talked as much as I did, if it not more, and that is there is not much you can do about the inherited traits. Inherited means the qualities which are coming, which are by birth. It comes from the genes of the parents. You cannot remove those qualities. You cannot change those habits. So she told that I will try to keep myself quiet, but I cannot, because this habit I have got from my mother. Even my mother talks too much, if not more than that, but she talks equally to me. So this is the inherited characteristic, some quality, some characteristic which has come from the genes of my mother. It is by birth within myself. So that's why I cannot control myself from talking. So this funny reason she has given in her essay. Mr. Casing had a good laugh at my arguments, but when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, he assigned me a second essay. Now he started laughing. When Mr. Casing read this essay, he was laughing with the arguments, whatever arguments I have given in this essay. And then he moved to the next chapter. He was teaching in the class. At that time also, when he was teaching the next chapter, at that time also I was continuously talking. I could not keep myself quiet. So he was troubled by this habit of mine, and he gave me the second essay. This time it was supposed to be on an incorrigible chatterbox. Now earlier he has given the topic a chatterbox. Second time he gave the topic an incorrigible chatterbox. Incorrigible means something which you cannot correct, which you cannot improve. Okay, the quality which you cannot improve. It will be as it is forever. I handed it in, and Mr. Casing had nothing to complain about for 2 whole lessons. So second time also I wrote an essay on the topic an incorrigible chatterbox, and I handed over the essay to my teacher, and my teacher did not say anything for next 2 chapters when he was teaching in the class. However, during the third lesson, he had finally had enough. Now, when he was teaching the other 2 chapters in the class, at that time also I was talking continuously, but he kept his patience. He did not become angry, or he did not say anything to me. Now when he moved to the third chapter, at that time also when I was continuously talking in the class, he became very angry. And Frank, as punishment for talking in class, write an essay and title Quack Quack Quack, said Mistress Chatterbox. So when he was teaching the third lesson, he became very angry, and he told to me that, and now you have to write, the third time you have to write the essay on the topic Quack Quack Quack. This is the topic. Quack 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 means you are talking too much. You are a chatterbox, said Mistress Chatterbox. The class roared. Now listening to the topic of the essay, everybody started laughing. I had to laugh too, though I would nearly exhausted my ingenuity on the topic chatterboxes. Now the same topic was given for the third time. So she thought that all my original thoughts, they are now over. Whatever I could have written, I have written in the previous 2 essays. Now she was thinking that what I will write in this third essay. It was time to come up with something else, something original. Now whatever ideas or whatever thoughts he will write in this third essay, that should be original, okay, of her own. My friend Sen, who is good at poetry, offered to help me write the essay from beginning to end in verse, and I jumped for joy. Now I was having a friend in my school. She was very good in writing poetry. She was expert in writing poetry. So she told me that you write this essay in the form of poetry, and I was very excited to listen to this idea. Mr. Casing was trying to play a joke on me with this ridiculous subject, but I would make sure the joke was on him. Now I have clearly understood that Mr. Casing, who was my maths teacher, was again and again giving me this topic of essay because he wanted to make joke on me, means he was making fun of me. But now I am decided that for the third time I will write such an essay that this joke will fall on him only, means it will be a joke on him, not on me. I finished my poem and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and a father swan with 3 baby ducklings who were bitten to death by the father because they quacked too much. So it was a joke that in this poem, what she has written, that there was a mother duck and the father swan, and both the mother and father, they were having 3 baby ducklings, but the father ate himself all the 3 children. Why? Because they were continuously making quack 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 sound. So it is but obvious that the duck makes the sound quack quack quack. So there is nothing special or nothing different from the other ducks. All ducks make the noise quack quack quack. So it was very funny that the father has eaten himself all his 3 children. Luckily, Mr. Casing took the joke the right way. Now, Mr. Casing, when he read this poem, he understood the joke of the essay. He read the poem to the class, adding his own comments, and to several other classes as well. So, whatever poem I have written in the form of, whatever essay I have written in the form of poem, that he told to all other classes also, not only in my class but in other classes also, in a very funny way, and also adding some comments of his own. Since then, I have been allowed to talk and haven't been assigned any extra homework. Now, after reading this essay, third time when I have written, Mr. Casing did not give me any other homework, and he also allowed me to talk in the class. After that, he never stopped me from talking, or he never was angry with me, neither he scolded me. On the contrary, Mr. Casing's always making joke these days. So, in fact, he wanted to change me, but finally he changed himself. Earlier, he was quite a serious teacher, but now he himself made jokes in the class to make everybody laugh. And he himself talked in the class instead of scolding me that why I was a chatterbox or why I was talking too much when he was teaching. So this is all about the story. I hope you have understood the story. In the next video, I will discuss the question answers of this chapter. Thank you.